Two parents from Derby in England have been handed a huge prison sentence after their 10-month-old boy died after having nearly every bone in his body broken. A disgusting couple who murdered their 10-month-old son on Christmas Day were locked up for their wicked crimes. Baby Finley Boden was left burnt and beaten with more than 130 injuries, all because of his parents, Stephen Boden and Shannon Marsden, back in 2020. The baby had only been back in the care of Boden, 30, and Marsden, 22, for just over a month after a family court ruled he could be returned to the pair. Repeated acts of severe violence in the weeks before his death. On the day he died, he had been beaten and burnt, it was later revealed. It comes after a separate horrifying crime in which parents laughed as their burnt, beaten and tortured 9-day-old baby died. The disgraced parents were sentenced to life in prison. When they appeared at Derby Crown Court, Boden must serve a minimum of 29 years, while Marsden a minimum of 27 years. Finley's daily experience was pain, distress and suffering. Grim details by the judge. No one heard Finley cry or scream in pain. Because you inflicted the injuries on him together, with one of you fracturing his bone and the other keeping him quiet with your hand over his mouth. When it became apparent that the baby was becoming seriously ill due to the injuries he'd suffered and the result was dying, the pair simply ignored the child and didn't seek any medical attention, an act that led the judge to conclude they had no remorse for what they had done. The pair both denied murder and child cruelty, but after a 5-month trial, the jury saw through their lies and found them guilty on both accounts. Police were called at around 2:47 a.m. on Christmas Day and found the toddler unresponsive. He was taken to hospital but sadly pronounced dead at 3:45 a.m. What a sad crime to hear about this little baby who lost his life.